Exactly. We never know. World War III can happen any moment.
See, I'll tell you a funny story.
Yeah.
World War III almost did happen. You know about that story?
No.
See, after World War, I think...
Cold War?
Yes.
Yeah.
World War III has already happened. It is Cold War. So what was happening after, basically what happened, till Stalin was alive, it was crazy. So Stalin was the man who was responsible for the Russians winning the World War II. And actually, maybe you do not know that World War II at the end, Germans knew they were losing, but Hitler was the kind of person that he said that we are not going to retreat. And they kept on fighting. But it was basically a race to Berlin. So Berlin is the capital, and the Russians were invading from the eastern front of Germany, and from the western front, the Allied forces, that is UK, Canada, United States, France, and all that. So ultimately, Russians did win the race, and they were the first to capture Berlin. And you know what they did? They did capture and encircled Berlin. You know why? So that United States and the Allied forces cannot get into Berlin.
Okay.
So, and Stalin was going to invade further. He was not going to stop. He said that I'm going to, but what stopped him, you know, the nuclear bomb. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the moment it dropped, Stalin was like, I'm out of this. We cannot deal with this until Russia developed their own nuclear bomb. And that was also like a few of the scientists from the Manhattan Project who was responsible for the atom bomb. The data was leaked and sent to Russia, and they developed their own atom bomb. And then the space race began, because Germans were the best when it comes to technology. Their tanks, their submarines, their missiles, they were always the best. The V1 rocket, the V2 rocket, that is all that rocket science is developed on. So von Braun, who was the leading scientist who was responsible for the V2 rocket, the rocket that was basically a missile, 1-ton warhead can be carried by it. So basically it is a rocket only. It is liquid propulsion, and right now the rockets are working on that principle only, still till this day. Two propellants, one oxidizer, one fuel, like that. It will burn and it will propel. So von Braun basically knew that Russians are ruthless. So what he did is that he himself went out there and surrendered to the Americans. Americans took him, the smart people they are. And they started this whole space race. Initially Russians were winning, and then Americans won by landing man on moon. Okay. And then what happened, you know, it was not like I'm going to invade your land and the fight is going to be in the country, like people are going to be fighting in Stalingrad and people are going to be fighting in Leningrad and people are going to be fighting in Chicago. It's not like that. They picked small countries like South Korea, North Korea, and they were like literally Russians and Americans fighting. And then they were like secret agents in each other's country. And you know what happened? Americans found out that Russians have placed nuclear bombs in Chile, I think, South America. All right. So what Americans said, that remove this atom bomb or I'm going to drop atom bomb on you. So they found out because of the secret agents, they found out that it is over there, because earlier the ballistic missiles were not that long range. So you cannot keep it in Russia and drop it on America. So you have to put it closer. So they kept it over there, and Russians are like, I'm going to remove it. You first remove it from Kazakhstan or something. It was close to there. Americans kept their nuclear bombs over there.
Okay, and then they are threatening Russia.
Yeah. So what happened is finally they decided that they are both going to remove it. But before they did, you know what happened? Russians almost launched the nuclear bomb. It was having 3 buttons. So to launch this nuclear bomb, you require 3 people to grant the access. I press the button, you press the button, and a third person presses the button. They pressed 2 fucking buttons, man.
Oh God.
And the third man said, no, I'm going to wait. Just based on some misconception. They thought that Americans are going to attack, we are going to attack first. And the third button was almost pressed.
Okay.
That would have eradicated everything. You understand? So the Third World War almost happened. And bizarre. A lot of people will say that it did happen with the Cold Wars. And that was the destruction of USSR. They destroyed, ultimately they did destroy Russians with a Cold War.
Exactly. Now just it hit my mind that what can be the other possibility for World War III. I think we are gonna fight over space.
That we have discussed in one podcast. That that is one technology that we did not have till World War II.
Same happened in World War II, right?
There was a news, right?
Invention of this atom bomb and all.
Right. That was the end of World War II. It
automatically helped, right? It just eventually helped.
It
right?
did shorten the World War II.
Yeah. But
otherwise,
you never
Japanese
know.
were not going to surrender.
Yeah, but you never know that maybe we humans have this tendency to own the things, to have possession of things. Like the way you told me, England kept the tank of Germany or something.
Oh yeah. That is
in
a very
their
funny
museum.
story.
Like they have this just it does not own to them, but still they are keeping it to themselves. They want to showcase that we own it.
Yeah,
Look, we own it.
What Komal is talking about, like I said, the Germans had the best technology at that time.
Yeah.
And there's a tank called Tiger tank, right? It's huge, mammoth. And Americans have this tank called Sherman. This Tiger tank is literally twice its size, heavier, bullets do not pass it, missiles do not pass it. In German, it is called Panzerkampfwagen. Something. Yeah, I know German words, guys. So
he has seen so many documentaries, so many clips of this World War II and Hitler. Now he's like saying some random words in German, and I'm like, okay, it just went off my head.
Yeah. So basically, the story is that tank is German technology kept in a museum in UK.
Yeah.
What the hell, man? What the hell? Why are you keeping that tank over there? It is German technology. Place it back into Germany.
Yeah.
But UK is like, I'm going to take all the good stuff. I'm going to keep it in our museums. That is the thing. Yeah, this is all power thirsty. Like we collect trophies. We want trophies.
So when the space things will be on huge level, maybe then it can get started.
We heard this news. No, China was interfering with one of the satellite of India. Didn't you? During the COVID situation only.
I didn't listen.
K7 made a statement that there was a problem that China did something. Yeah. So that is the thing. Right now, the satellite goes, the country goes, man. This video you won't be able to watch without the satellites. The whole GPS goes.
Exactly.
The Navik system goes. That is the problem. You know what happened in 1999 Kargil War? I'm so good at history. 1999 Kargil War. The Indians did not have the GPS.
Yeah.
And in Kargil, Pakistani army were at the top. So that is the thing. Indians were at disadvantage.
Yeah.
So Indians were at the bottom. They were at the top. So obviously they can mess with us, right? So they needed GPS system to locate exactly where they are, where their bunkers are.
Yeah.
And they asked for help from United States.
Yeah.
And United States said no.
To us, no?
To Indians.
Yeah.
And that is when we decided that we are going to have our own GPS.
Yeah.
And right now, the Navik constellation, that is basically the constellation of 7 satellites. Sometimes it is 8, and sometimes next is sent to replace the last one. But basically 7 satellite. It is going to cover the whole India country, and sometimes it covers the part of Bangladesh also. If they need, they can take it like that. So it is the GPS system. So right now the Google map that you're using, that is not Indian system.
Yeah.
That is like we are borrowed from Americans.
Obviously, the computerized voice says it itself.
No, they have Indian accent now also, so you can change it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But automatically it is American, right?
American it is.
accent.
It is GPS.
So that only hints at that, okay, this is not some Indian born.
Yeah. So obviously there's no doubt in that. GPS, the word itself is American, and we have taken it, and now it is released for civilian. Earlier
If it were of Indian, it would have been like Bharatiya.
So that is why listen to me before you say, because we have our own GPS, and that is
I
called
Navik.
I know that.
Yeah. Navik, no?
Yeah.
What is the full form?
Navigation.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So I used to remember it when I was in ISRO, but now I've forgotten about it. But I studied it before my ISRO interview. I studied it deeply because sometimes they ask these questions. Yeah. It is ready. It is released. And
I know about that.
There are some cell phones. The only thing is that your cell phone do have to have that chip. Only then you will be able to get the signal. Yeah. And it is actually more accurate than GPS.
Exactly. Even the American people are so impressed by this technology.
The only thing is that it only covers India. That is the only thing.
But they're impressed with the technology.
Yes, definitely. India is doing mind-blowing work when it comes to space research. Yeah. The thing that I want to say is that was the whole point, that you would attack each other's satellite, because the whole constellation goes, you do not know where you are. Exactly. You do not have internet access. You have no communication with your own army. Your army is going to be stuck somewhere in Ladakh and you can't communicate, and they are going to be mass murdered over there. Exactly. You understand? So the communication is everything. And right now, about space debris, it is like clogged. The space is filled with the garbage. So what happens is, for example, you are launching a rocket, no?
Yeah.
The upper stages are going to be left, and actually that is also in orbit only. That is a waste piece of metal circulating in the orbit.
Okay.
And literally there has been instances when the ISS has been hit by those debris. So the space is not clean anymore. It is filled with garbage. So if you see that it is filled with so many garbage, there are so many satellites also. So every country is launching satellites. So ultimately, where you want the war? In the space, right?
Yeah.
Go over there, and you have intercontinental ballistic missiles. You have rockets. It has navigation system. Point it exactly where the position is, blast it off, or maybe create some interference, and it is useless now.
Yes, Ashish, what I think, what will happen eventually, that people have to work something to just eradicate the garbage they are spreading in space, right? The same way they are cleaning the
ISRO
beaches.
was thinking of doing something like that.
And these mountains and all, where we have just spreaded the garbage and we have littered them like that. Now they are just cleaning it. If they would have taken care of it earlier, it had been very nice, I feel so.
The biggest problem is we create a lot of mess that we don't know how to clean up.
Yeah.
For example, the Fukushima. Okay, a nuclear reactor is there. Oops, goes out of control. Now you have a nuclear disaster waste for thousands and thousands of years over here. We don't know how to clean it. Yeah. Hey, how about you learn how to clean it before you create it? Let it go out of control. Yeah. So that is the same thing. Like, we kept on throwing a lot of pieces in the space, never thought about cleaning it up. We kept on throwing a lot of plastics in the ocean, never thought about cleaning it up.
Yeah.
The way we work. Humans.
Yes.
We are.
I loved your face when you're like.
Yeah. So I hope it was extremely insightful. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very deep.
Deep. I went into a zone. Enjoyed it. Komal, did you enjoy it?
Absolutely.
This is the favorite time of my week.
Yeah.
Do a lot of podcasts. Have most fun having a podcast with Komal over here.